Do you hear any music? I'm trying to figure out this audio thing. You don't hear music? Okay, I'm just... Okay. Yeah, I figured as much. You can hear me? You do hear music now? I'm all confused. Okay. That's weird. I'm still learning this thing. I started a little bit early just to get some people in here. Tell me if the volume on the music goes down. All right, let me know if it just went down. I know there's a delay. It should be, it's lower now. Is it still too loud though? Should I turn it off? Turn it off. All right, there we go. It's weird. It's so quiet. Usually I'm in the garage and it's like you hear the grackles outside and the cars going by. All right. How's everybody doing? I tried like twice to do a live stream where the topic was like whether your friends and family think that you're I've heard like people say, you know, they think they're crazy, they're paranoid, they're hoarders and that sort of thing. And for some reason, both live streams, like that was the intent. And then like immediately we start and like the question was never even brought up. So this time we are going to talk about whether or not your friends and family think you're crazy. And I've always said, like, whenever anybody questions, I almost hate using the word prepping because it's like a lot of other things. It's gotten this negative connotation, like you get this mental image of this person like out in the woods wearing camos, storing canned goods. But just ask them, like, do you have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen or in your house? Or do you have car insurance? You're probably going to say yes. That's prepping. It's no different. Actually, it's more important because you're talking about like food and water, things you have to live. So do you think people that question you prepping, hey sappers, do you think it's because, do you think they do it because they haven't and they're scared? Like they either think that they're too far behind the curve to get started now, or they think that you're ahead of them? I mean, do you think I don't know, there's so many questions. Why do you think people have a problem with, I mean, if the guy next door has like a shit ton of soup and rice and beans, or my brother or my sister, like, why do I care? Like, why do they have such a visceral reaction and tell you that you're crazy? Your family's cut you off. Is it because you prep, or because like you're a conspiracy theorist and like, you know, you believe things that they think is nonsense? Is it the prepping that caused them to disassociate themselves from you? And Seamus, like, why do you think that they're annoyed with you? Like, why the fact that you have like extra food and extra water, extra medical stuff or whatever, like, why would that trigger them? They think you're crazy because you prep and basically you're awake. Yeah, I don't think it's about the prepping as much as the awakening. People who aren't awake, I think they just they instinctually like fight against those who are awake. I probably think you're crazy because you see things that they don't see. So it's not really the prepping as much as just the fact that like you're aware, and they either feel like, do you think that people think that you think you're better than them or smarter than them, or do you think that they're so like disassociated that they just think you're crazy and none of like what you believe in has any basis in reality? How many brothers do you have, Sapper? So you think it's because deep down they know that you're right, and I think with most things it boils down to fear. You have two older brothers, and they think you're. Do they think? Because I mean, I know you've got like a lot of quality. I mean, you've got solar panels and generator and all kinds of. So do they think you're basically wasting your money, and you should like use it on like sports memorabilia or something worthy of spending your money on? Maybe like a Tom Brady jersey or something. Yeah, I'm stunned that there are still people that follow mainstream media at all. I understand that the way the system is set up, they keep you so preoccupied and busy just trying to make ends meet that a lot of people don't have time to look into things. But I think a lot of people who are awake, instead of watching TV or watching football, they research and they prep and stuff. So those people, they have the time. They just choose to do something else with it. They choose to be part of the matrix and participate in the distractions that they've been given, like sports and TV, movies. They choose that over what we choose, which is searching for the truth. I think, yeah, being woke is painful. I've actually thought of that, Earl. A lot of times, like when you go back to like before, when you were just in the matrix with everyone else, sort of like pre 9/11, when you just assumed everything was real, and it was easier. And you ask yourself, would you rather be awake and going through all the nonsense and pain that includes, or would you rather just be asleep like you used to be? And I don't know if you'd say happier. I wasn't happier. I'm happier now, but even though I see the evil in the world, I'm still happier because you're no longer under their control. I know, Sheepdog. Look at this. 3:30 and we're already live streaming. I don't know what I just said. I was making a good point, though. Hello in Maryland. Because once you're awake, they no longer have that control over you, because you can see everything is scripted. See, like with the flat Earth, like a lot of people won't go there just because accepting that truth for whatever reason, like they just thinking like that they bought that lie, and that lie is so big they can't they can't flash flood warning in Phoenix. Oh dear. They would rather be stuck in the matrix and believe a lie, which doesn't make sense to me because, like, I never. Well, first of all, the term flat Earth, I hate using it because it has negative connotations. They've drilled that into us since we were children. That just if you say flat Earth, it's like basically you've got like retarded, and then you've got flat earther. I mean, they've really drilled that into the public psyche to the point where it's like the worst thing you can be called. There's like almost nothing. I mean, I guess pedophile probably the worst, but yeah, flat earther. It's just like it has so many negative connotations. But like once I realized the truth, like I didn't have even a moment of like, oh man, like it was just like, yeah, it's always seemed that way and doesn't shock me at all. And I just moved on. It's like, okay, now I'm going to go to the next, you know. But yeah, being woke does change everything. But like I said, I wouldn't go back. All right, bye, Bob. That was like a drive-by from Bob Barker. It's like in and out. That's like the thing I have with. Yeah, you got a flash flood warning too on your phone. What was I going to say? Oh, people who get fixated on one thing, like you know, they find out like the Earth is flat, and then like that's like they're consumed by it. That's all they talk about. That's all they do. It's just like every day they wake up, and it's like they got to prove to everyone the Mandela effect. You know, oh, I gotta tell people that this is real. It's like there's so many. Basically, everything's a lie. So you can't get fixated on one thing because that's part of the trick too. They want you to fixate on like flat Earth or the Mandela effect because then you're not paying attention to everything else because everything's a lie. Yeah, I'm sure it did change your life. Play The Price is Right. I don't know what you mean by that. Hey, Bob, I thought you were leaving. What's going on? They say everything's a lot of FEMA barges and dumping bodies off, and they are washing ashore in Hawaii, and many have organs removed. You know what? I don't know if I want to. There's too many things too many rabbit holes. Oh, I get it. Price is Right. I don't watch TV, so it took me a while. And Bob Barker's not his real name, so when I see him on there, I don't think of him. I don't think of Bob Barker. I just think of who he really is. So like, what was I going to say about? Oh, so people think you're crazy for. I didn't want to get sidetracked with like other rabbit holes. I want to try and stick to the um, storing up, you know, food and ammo, water, and so I know when I first started this channel, I just did stuff like, you know, how to make char cloth and how to make Vaseline cotton balls and how to do this. And some people have said like, I liked you better when you just did like prepper, but they don't understand like everything on my channel has a direct connection to prepping. You know, even if it's biblical stuff. I mean, because the Bible tells us what's coming, and you've got a lot of preppers in the Bible. You got this guy named Noah. He was a pretty hardcore prepper. But yeah, they're all connected. It's like you can't just keep making videos about how to make a Dakota fire hole. It's like once you've made one, you know, you got to broaden your horizons. Oh, don't see that's that turpentine thing's starting to take off, and I just I'll let other people be the guinea pigs for that. But I mean, when you look at the world situation right now, I think the reason that we're not in a world war conflict right now is because of the restrainer. If you read Second Thessalonians, uh, I do believe God has a restrainer that is holding things back because all the parts and the pieces are in place, and it's not even like like World War II. Everybody was focused on Germany. This is more global. I hate to use that word, but um, yes, that's who I believe the restrainer is also. Um, but you look at Venezuela and you look at Syria, you look at Iran, you look at China, Russia, Israel, um, the United States. It's like everywhere now. And the militaries from all these different countries are in place. They've got anti-aircraft, you know, um, missile defense systems set up everywhere. They've got troops on borders. I mean, everything's in place. It's like if you play that game Risk, like it's all set up. It's like there's a clock ticking, and we're just all staring at it, waiting for that minute hand to hit midnight. And the only reason that I believe that it hasn't fallen apart yet is that God has a restrainer in place. And I was actually reading Second Thessalonians today, and I was gonna read just like a certain verse, but Second Thessalonians only has 17 verses. It's actually pretty short. So, on behalf of all the atheists and agnostics that may be watching, I'm just going to read Second Thessalonians because this really has a lot to do with where we're at today. So I'm just going to read this, and you can just bear with me. Now, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our being gathered together to him, we ask you, brothers, not to be quickly shaken in mind or alarmed, either by a spirit or a spoken word or a letter seeming to be from us, to the effect that the day of the Lord has come. Let no one deceive you in that way, for that day will not come unless the rebellion comes first and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the son of destruction, who opposes and exalts himself against every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, proclaiming himself to be God. Do you not remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things? And you know what is restraining him now, so that he may be revealed in his time. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains it will do so until he is out of the way. That's what we were just talking about. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord Jesus will kill with the breath of his mouth and bring to nothing by the appearance of his coming. The coming of the lawless one is by the activity of Satan, with all power and false signs and wonders, and with all wicked deception for those who are perishing, because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. Therefore God sends them a strong delusion, so that they may believe what is false, in order that all may be condemned who do not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. But we ought always to give thanks to God for you, brothers, beloved by the Lord, because God chose you as the first fruits to be saved, through sanctification by the Spirit and belief in the truth. To this he called you through our gospel, so that you may obtain the glory of the Lord Jesus Christ. So then, brothers, stand firm and hold to the traditions that you were taught by us, either by our spoken word or by our letter. Now may our Lord Jesus Christ himself and God our Father, who loved us and gave us eternal comfort and good hope through grace, comfort your hearts and cherish them, or establish them in every good work and word. So he's telling us right there, the restrainer is keeping all this in check, but that when he chooses, he's going to ask the restrainer to step aside, and the man of perdition the man of lawlessness, will be revealed, and then it's game on. But like I said, all the parts and pieces are in place. Hey, Common Man. Let me see. I don't know what Bible this was I'm reading from. Let's see. It might be ESV. Yeah, that's ESV. Because I think the King James calls the Antichrist the son of perdition, and this was using the man of lawlessness and deception. But yeah, I've seen some stuff lately talking about Macron from France possibly being the Antichrist. No, the pre-trib rapture is nonsense. Jesus says in Revelation at the end, after the Great Tribulation, that he sends his angels to the four corners to gather his elect. Well, there'd be nobody to gather if they'd already been raptured. I don't think Jesus is going to send his angels out to gather up a bunch of nobodies that don't exist because they've already been raptured. But I don't know. I think people use the pre-trib rapture as it's based just like we were talking earlier. It's just based in fear. They fear the tribulation, so they latch on to any hope that they think this scripture might say that they don't have to go through it. So anybody new that's on now, tell us about what your friends or family think about you preparing. Yeah, the book of Matthew is just like, I hate to pick a favorite in the Bible, but I always go back to Matthew. That's why I'm just, something about the book of Matthew really speaks to me. So you're a psycho conspiracy theorist, and that they're saying that based on fear. They don't want what you believe to be true. That would destroy their worldview. Yeah, they laugh at you, but I'll tell you what, when things go down, they're going to make a beeline for you because they know that you've got food and water. Wow. So is there anybody here whose family like fully supports them or, you know, is on the same page? It seems like everybody's friends and family think they're insane. All right, so we got one whose family's starting to like come around, maybe. Like, yeah, maybe there's something to this. You got your wife on board in the last 2 days? Well, that's pretty impressive. Good for you. Oh yeah. Chat's scrolling by. I'm horrible at keeping up with the chat. I'm trying. Your mom thinks that your mom thinks you can help everyone? Yeah. I mean that wow. What's true, door kicker? I can't scroll back up because if I do, then I lose the way I have it set up. I can't watch the live or the YouTube feed because it's delayed and it like throws me off. So I have to watch the Hangout window. So it's all in real time. And if I click on the chat, that window goes away and then I get all discombobulated. You're a Bible thumper and a fool? Well, you know, I commend her for wanting to help everyone, but I don't know if she has a concept of how many everyone is. That's like everyone. That's a lot of people. You can't help everyone. The thing is, everyone has had the same information that we have and the same amount of time that we've had. So there's really no excuse. You know, turning people away, yeah, it sucks, but failure to prepare on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. You want an underground hidden bunker? Yeah, don't we all? I had to settle for a remote desert. Well, what's their definition of living? Like, they think you should start living? If you're following Christ and reading up on prophecies and preparing for what the prophecies say, to me, that's living. What are they doing? Watching football? I need somebody to like read the chat for me. I'm sure I'm missing like all the good stuff. Lisa has a shovel. Football, such a distraction. Let's see here. I'm going to put some music in the background just because all I hear is like the ceiling fan and it's driving me crazy. Let me know if this is too loud. I'm just going to give it a shot here. I'll do something like really low key here. Where's my let me know if that's like super quiet. So, do you guys all know like people like still does anybody know somebody that like still watches CNN? Christopher, where are you at? Are you in Arizona? I can't remember. There's a few people here in Arizona. Where are you at, Christopher? Mark Dice. Everyone you know watches CNN? That's hideous. I think Christopher might have been we might have lost him due to the storm. I'm trying to figure out where he's at, where he's having a storm. Hopefully not by me. Hey, Joe Info. The Joe Info. I don't know what to call you. I want to make sure. Those people will not be able to handle the fact that Fox, yeah. Box is just the other side of the same coin. Okay, Rose. Yeah, I don't know, like, where are you at, Christopher? Where you're in a storm. Don't say Arizona. You're in Arizona. Okay, well, you're in Kingman. It is like, I don't know. The sky looks like, I mean, something might be coming here. It did rain a little bit earlier, and we did just get the flash flood alert on our phones. I usually ignore those because nothing ever happens. Yeah, I got rained on a little bit. People probably think we're nuts because we're like complaining because it rained a little bit. We're not complaining. We like the rain. Does anybody know the average number of days we get rainfall here? I do. Let's see if anybody's close. Average number of days we get rain here per year. Four? You're a little low. No, you're low. A prepper, you're close. Sheepdog probably knows. He lives close to me. Hey, Nick. Nick Makes Preps is going to be here in like, I don't know, what, 5 days? 4 or 5 days? No, we get an average of 8 days of rain a year. 11? It's 8. Did you catch any fish, Nick? Yeah, we don't get much rain here. So when we do, I don't think anybody complains. I like it. Wow, you're in Southern California? I'm sorry, Peggy. Oh, they do. Okay, good. Wow, you're in Arizona too? How many is that? There's like 6 of us on here. What are you going to do with the nightshade? I know it's poisonous, but I'm sure it probably has some like actual uses too. What do you do with nightshade, Nick? Don't say you make poison. Oh, we got somebody in North Carolina. Not all Arizona. That's good. Black nightshade is edible. Well, I'll watch you eat it. I'll probably pass. So you and your son prep together, Liz? That's good. Is it about to pour? I have my window open, so I guess I'll know. Nightshade is your 3rd favorite food in all creation. Well, you're still alive, so apparently it is edible. Okay, Lisa. Thank you. Have a great day yourself in Kansas. Have I been to Kansas? Yes. It is getting dark, isn't it? Superstitions. That's a spooky place. I'm trying to think. Do we have a prepper group in North Carolina? We don't have one in North Carolina. Yeah, I'm just like, I have this thing. The only thing I'll eat as far as plants that I'm like, because I have like no confidence in my like plant identification. Even though I have a book that has pictures, I would look at it and say, yeah, you know what? This could be something else. I'll eat prickly pear cactus because I know for a fact that's what it is. So I will probably be eating nothing but prickly pear if stuff goes south after a while. Preppernet, Asheville. Apache Junction. That sounds familiar. I think that's close to me. I still haven't got the names of all the places around here down yet. Yeah. Well, you're going to be here in what, 5 days or something, or 6 days, something like that. So, yeah, I would love if you can point out the plants at Camp Contingency that aren't going to kill us. That would be a bonus. East Valley. I think that's where I'm at. Yeah. Right? Who won the knife? That's a good question. Night of Valier Forge and Woodcraft. Hi again. You're in Rhode Island. Christina is in Rhode Island. I don't know one person family that is awake. Everyone thinks I'm nuts. Well, maybe you are. Maybe we all are. That's all right. One big happy family of crazy people. Who won the knife? The knife gets picked by Jackhammer Mike. That's not my thing. It's his, and it's the cutoff is this Friday, so the 19th. But he did print out a person. This apparently is one of the entries. I guess he wants me to see it because for some reason, and it's amazing. I don't know if this person is like in the running for the lead for the knife. I don't know, but it's a pretty amazing email. And then I'm hoping that whoever wins, that he does a video where he reads the winning. I'm sure he will. I would think that he's going to live or make a video reading the winning entry, because I don't envy him. I'm glad I don't have to pick it, because last I heard he had like 65 entries and they're all at least a paragraph. So I'm sure there's some pretty amazing. It's one of those things where I almost wish we did have like a Patreon or something, so the money could go to just buying a whole bunch of K-bars or whatever, and having a lot of winners, because like I said, I don't envy him having to pick one winner out of all the entries, because I think there's some quality stuff, and everybody probably deserves something. Queen Creek. Now, I was in Queen Creek last weekend. It's only like 5 miles from here. It seems like Queen Creek is a very like strip mall-y, but like quality. Like, it seems like it's a high income area with like nice stores, and that's all I saw, is just stores everywhere. Like there's a vape shop there. That's why I went. It's called Red Star. So I went there. It's a vape shop that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is insane. But FEMA barges are coming to North and South Carolina. Oh, just don't get on one. Yeah, I'm actually super paranoid about eating anything I find out in the desert that's not a prickly pear. Yeah, everything in Arizona in the desert wants to either bite you or prick you or cut you. Even if it looks like a regular tree, if you grab the branch, you're screwed. There's literally thorns on everything. Yeah, the K-bar is an amazing prize, and it's Bob Barker. It's all him. He sent it to us and said, "Give this away to somebody on Mike's channel." So very cool. That's the only reason I've ever thought about doing like Patreon or something, is to have like a an account that is nothing but used for either giveaways or getting people here to visit, to go out in the desert and shoot and camp out at the Camp Contingency or somewhere else. I used to live in South Bend. My mother was born in South Bend. I used to live there. I couldn't. Uh, yeah, Southern Arizona is. It's weird because like the weather, even though it's like dark and rainy and stuff right now, the temperature is just like perfect, and I think it's like that just long enough to forget what 112 feels like, and then pretty soon we're gonna get that reminder of what the weather here is normally like. Yeah, June, July, August, September, brutal. By Paranormal Poison. Wow, everybody here is either from Arizona or lived in South Bend at some point. Okay, Peggy. God bless. Take care. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time in Texas. I like it there. Yeah, I used to live in Yuma, and it would be 120 on kind of an average in the summer. It was rough. Ooh, Chicago. Kat Tinsley, you're in California. I guess a lot of people live in California, so you're not alone. I'm not going to judge. I've lived in some horrible places. I was kind of a gypsy. I've lived in many, many, many states, and there's only two states I would live in now. With Texas being like a close third, parts of Texas, like West Texas, maybe like near Midland or someone like that. I wouldn't be anywhere near like Austin or Dallas, but yeah, but there's only two states I would live in at this point. Yeah, Portland is so demonically possessed. It's I don't even think us followers of Christ should even mess with it. I wrote Portland off as lost. I don't see any redemption. I mean, it's that bad. If you look at those really crazy Antifa videos on YouTube where like people just are doing just the most ridiculous stuff or getting the shit kicked out of them, 95% of those are in Portland. And you can tell, like, as soon as the video starts, I'm like, this is Portland. Then I look at the description. It's like, in Portland, Oregon. I'm like, yeah. Portland is demonic. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, a lot of us here are in the Mesa, Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert area. Hey, Milkman. Almsville, that's Oregon too, right? That sounds familiar. Oh, Washington's. Well, Seattle's the lost cause. I don't know how far it's spreading. I think there's probably still some good parts in Washington if you go east from the Sound. You can't go south because you're going towards Vancouver and Portland, so that's demonic. But if you go east towards like I don't know, probably like Wenatchee or Kelso or something. I don't know. Like I said, I can't stand the weather in the Northwest, so yeah, Michigan I couldn't do. I've been there. I couldn't live there. I'm a desert person. Bob Barker. How the hell are you? You're back. Yeah, we're still at it. I've been to or lived in pretty much every state east or west of like Indiana. Indiana West, I think I've been to every state and I've lived in a lot of them. I was very much a gypsy for a while. I used to get really restless and just move. I moved to states I've never even been to before. I couldn't do Maine. See, I can't do that kind of weather. If you're like, if you were born to be in the desert, you can't do that. I can't. No, I think pot is another one of Satan's tools. The Bible strictly tells us to remain sober. Hey, Gregory Meyer, I don't know who you're talking to. I'm not Mike, but unless Mike's on the chat. Yeah, I've been in every state west of. I may have been in Ohio. I know I've been everywhere west of Indiana. I don't know if I've been to Ohio. Maybe. If I did, I was little. If you have video to send me, there is a contingency plan Dropbox where it's a public folder. I don't know how you find it. I mean, I think you go to Dropbox. I don't know. I'm not sure if you go to dropbox.com if you can search for the contingency plan folder. I don't know. Or if I have to send you a link. I don't know how it works, but like Smith has posted and Jason H have all put and Jackhammer Mike, they've all put videos in that folder before. I just don't remember if I had to tell them where it was or if they found it. Yeah, Seattle area is just a literal nightmare. I have not been to Alaska. Yeah, Mike is Jackhammer Mike. That's a different channel. I used to want to go to Alaska, and I think in the summertime I would be cool with that, but I'm not doing the winters in Alaska. You don't understand. When it's 60 here, we're pretty uncomfortable. And like right now, it's probably let's see what the temperature is right now. This is literally a shitty day by our standards, and it's 67 degrees. And this is considered it's January, it's 67, and this is considered an absolute shit day here. I think Alaska probably is amazing. I just think the winters would do me. I don't know. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest has been compromised. He was underground in a mine when the earthquake hit. I don't know if there'd be a worse place to be. Yeah, I wouldn't love to live in Alaska. I would like to visit Alaska. I don't know when though, because like in the summertime, don't they have mosquitoes that are like will carry you away? I don't like bugs. We don't really have the bugs here aren't annoying like in some places. The bugs here are just uh, huge. I've never really had a mosquito issue here. I don't know. I think it's too hot. Even the bugs are like hell with this. I have been overseas. I was in the military. I'm an Iraqi war vet, so I've been between the West Coast and Iraq and all the spots in between. How is the heat here? Um, have you ever like preheated your oven and then opened it to like see if it's warmed up yet, and then that oven door, that air hits you in the face? That's what it's like here. If he's offering to send you to Alaska to go hunting or visit, I would absolutely take him up on that. It is a great day to be above the grass. You're welcome, Gregory. It was my pleasure. It was I had a good time in the military. I think everybody should do it. Yeah, we don't like have humidity here. I mean, I've lived in the Midwest and stuff, and I've been to Louisiana, to New Orleans and stuff, where it's just ridiculous. But it's literally exactly like when you preheat your oven and then you get down close to it and you open it. That's what the summers feel like. Exactly. Except it's your whole body and it's everywhere. And air conditioning rules. Yeah. You know what? If I went if I lived in Iowa, which I've spent a ton of time in Iowa. I used to work in Illinois right by the border, and I used to have to go to Davenport in the Quad Cities all the time. And I went to Alaska. I don't think I'd go back either. I think I'd just stay. I had nothing against Iowa. It's just it's Iowa, and um, actually, you know what state I've been to? Well, there's two states I've been to that I didn't spend a lot of time in, but I liked them, and I think that they would be interesting. Is South Dakota? I liked it there, and believe it or not, Wyoming. Wyoming is there's something about Wyoming. I thought it was actually I mean, as far as like bugging out, Wyoming, I think people in Wyoming are going to have it okay. I think they're going to be all right. I mean, compared to a lot of places. You're very welcome, Christopher. Thank you, Don, and have a good evening. Maryland. I don't know anything about the East Coast. I've avoided it on purpose. Yeah, if the grid went down in Arizona in the summer, I think you would see mass casualties. I'm mostly the elderly. Yeah, I like South Dakota. It was really nice. Well, bless your family, Amanda. I'm glad that. Yeah, there's definitely places you do not want to be if the grid goes down. You know what? A lot of people. Well, I guess probably people do realize of it. I think more like in Europe and stuff, they don't truly grasp how vast the United States is as far as just how spread out it is. Because Europe is really all compact. You can go from Germany to France, on a train in several hours, and it's. I had a roommate, a friend once who moved here from the Netherlands, and Europe. It's like everybody in Europe has been to like every European country because they're very, very close by. Uh, there's a lot of people in the United States that have. I know people who have never left the state they live in, which is insane. Um, but if you take like Seattle, Washington, and like Jacksonville, Florida, it's like literally two different countries. But people don't understand how diverse and spread out the United States is, and how just going from one state to another, it's literally like being in a different country. I mean, even California and Arizona, they're next door to each other, and they're completely different worlds. No, I couldn't do New York. I have nothing against people that live there and choose to live there, but if they're happy, that's great. I couldn't do it. Oh, Baltimore? Yeah. Hey, Jerry Parker. But did you make some jerky? I don't know what put up beef jerky means. You mean, did you make some? Did you make it in a dehydrator, or do you have like a smoker? Or did you go old school and just drape it over a campfire? Dehydrator? Well, somebody told me that they were going to chip everybody in the military. I don't know. There's no such thing as too much ammo. They're rude where, Christopher? And were you talking? You guys talking about New York, or where? Where are the people rude? I think the whole East Coast I've heard is rude, but you made horse jerky? I'd eat that. Yeah, I don't even know how much ammo I have. I can tell you the minimum amount of ammo you should have. There is no maximum, but there is a minimum. I'm not going to comment on that, Bob. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if the military is going to get chipped. That could just be, you know, more fake news nonsense, or I don't know. I haven't heard it except on like chat. I haven't heard it. Like I haven't like read it or heard anybody verify that. New York. Yeah. Well, they're known for being rude, so I think once you live in an area that's known for being rude, then there's no incentive to be a nice person. It's really sad. 1,000 rounds minimum. My rule of thumb is the minimum amount of ammo you should have is enough ammo to get more ammo, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I've ever had horse. I've eaten at some street vendor carts in Mexico and also in Hong Kong and Singapore and Thailand. So I don't know what those meats were. They could have been, who knows. God bless her, a prepper. I will tell you that the people here, from my experience so far, are extremely nice. Like really, like hold the door open for you. Nice. They're very nice here. I think that's one of the reasons I like it. The weather and the fact that like the people here so far that I've dealt with, which has been a lot of people, behave like I do. I always hold doors open for people. I don't care who they are. If I'm going in or out, I will hold a door open even if they're 30 feet away, but I know they're heading that way. I will stand there and hold the door open. And that's how people that I've come across here, I don't know, like Sheepdog can probably tell you. I think people here are super, super nice. Yes. Thank you, Bob, for the K-bar. Somebody's going to be very happy with that. What's the deal with the sticker, Sapper? Are you getting stickers made for your channel? I'll check it in a bit. Like I said, if I mess with the, if I click on stuff here, I lose the window and then it gets weird. Yeah, Sheepdog. I think the people here are very nice, very polite. Of course, I moved here from Portland, which is demonic and full of wizards. So it's like night and day. Hey, Nick. So Nick is coming here in a few days, and we're going to go out to Camp Contingency. Tell everybody what you're most excited about, Nick, or what you're most looking forward to. Oh, cool. I can lower the volume with this little arrow. That helped. Yeah, Portland is full of wizards and demons. East Valley, Charles Osmond. We have another Arizona person here, Sheepdog, Christopher Dunn, the nice young lady who I think left, myself, and JCB, who's on a lot of the chats, is in Tucson. Have a good one, Kat. I still don't know if I'm speaking to a male or a female. I think it's a female. I don't want to assume. I think that I don't want to get into it. People with dementia, the elderly, I think there's a way we could heal them. Yeah, someone did say East Valley. It was like like I said, I can't scroll back. I think it was Charles or Charlie, something like that. Yeah, Kat. I'm sorry. I think you told me that before. Oh, here I'm being stupid. Sappers. I just used my phone to look at your sticker. Let's take a look at what you got here, Sappers. Oh, that's cool. A little bit of a little Q going on there. Kind of a subtle nod to Q. So did it not come out like the image here? It's dark. Is it darker than the image that you sent me? Like it when they printed it, did it come out darker than this? Because this looks good. I'm assuming that flag in the background probably is maybe too hard to see on your finished product. It's a cool looking sticker, but I could see where like when they print it, that flag in the background could come out too dark and hard to see. Because generally what you see is not necessarily what you get. When they print stuff, it comes out. They always say like, what you see is exactly what you're going to get. And it always comes out either lighter or darker than the image that you sent them. Yeah, I would think that flag is tough to see when they print it because, like I said, it's what you see is what you get. Is not that's false advertising. Yeah, I just Christ has given us the authority to cast out demons and to heal. I don't know if any of you ever subscribe or watch anything from Praying Medic. Praying Medic did a live stream, I think yesterday or Sunday, on healing through the power of Christ, and it was a fantastic. I mean, he literally lays hands on people through the name of Jesus Christ and heals people, and it was a really interesting live stream. Yes, we can do all things through Christ. You just have to believe. Good night, Nita Villar. I'm probably butchering that name. Do you Paranormal Poison? Do you follow Praying Medic? I think it was the last video he made. But he talks about his experience with healing people. Like he will heal people that he sees. Like if he goes shopping and he sees somebody limping, like to their car, he will go right up to them and say, what's wrong with your knee, and literally fix it, like right there, through the power of Jesus Christ. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, I think it was his last video. It was like It was Sunday or Monday. You know what's interesting is I've been hearing a lot lately about, and this is really really cool that this is people are starting to understand this and use it. Is that alien abductions, which are the fallen ones? They're demons, but people who are being abducted are invoking the name Jesus Christ, and it stops. Like there was one person I just heard they woke up in the middle of the night. They were paralyzed. These grays were in the room. His wife was sound asleep, never woke up. He was lifted off his bed and he started going to the wall, and he knew that they were going to put him like through the wall and take him, and he was able to just get out. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. And boom, he was back in bed and they were gone. I mean, it was amazing. And that's the real deal. This whole alien outer space nonsense. Aliens from another planet would give a shit if you said Jesus Christ. These are fallen angels, and these are demonic abductions. And through the power of Christ, you can just boom, just like that. There's a lot, actually. If you look into it now, there are a lot of people who have had a history of abductions who are starting to invoke the name of Christ, and it's done. Like they stop it, and it just ends. And it's wonderful that people are starting to wake up to what these things really are. So you buy canned food, and then when it gets by its due date, you open it and dehydrate it. Is that what you're saying? Like, give me an example of a canned good that you open and dehydrate. I'm interested in this. Are you talking like canned peaches or something like that, or like? Wait, I've never dehydrated vegetables. You can dehydrate corn. What does that end up like? Like little tiny BBs or what? I would be interested in seeing what like green beans and corn and stuff looks like after going through the dehydrator. I think the next thing I wouldn't mind dehydrating some more fruit, but I think I want to try turkey. I want to make some turkey jerky. So if you dehydrate vegetables, you add water to it when later on when you go to finally eat it, you add water. I'm fascinated by this. So carrots, beans, corn, or green beans, corn. It just shrivels them up, and then when you add water, it's like those little what do you call them? Those things you buy when you're a kid. You put water, and then they puff up into a elephant or whatever. Charles, dehydrate strawberries and kiwi. They're insane. dehydrated strawberry and kiwi is better than fresh strawberry and kiwi, in my opinion. I think they taste better. They're amazing. So if you dehydrate, like, say, corn, and then later on you add water to it, do you add, like, is it boiling water? Is that what you got to do? And it just puffs them back up? That's pretty cool. So it's boiling water? Yeah. I'm well aware. I'm well versed in the cup of noodles, which is a Mandela effect. But let's not go there. People will not stop commenting on the damn. There's like 3 videos that get all the comments. The police and shit hits the fan. They go in like cycles. Yeah, strawberry and kiwi dehydrated. You will not regret it. They're literally better than like any candy you can buy. They're incredible. The bananas and the apples. Mango is also fantastic dehydrated. Yeah, I've got the jerky thing. Like, it's edible, it's okay, but it's not like Bob Barker. His jerky is insane. It's like it makes the jerky we make ridiculous. I don't know. He's been doing it for a long time. He's mastered it. There. It's getting awfully dark in here. Take care of the Joe Info. Enjoy your week. Yeah, I made jerky like, I don't know. It was like 2 nights. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, Bob's jerky is like, it's the best jerky I've ever had. It's better than any I've ever. It's just insane. I don't know. He's, like I said, he's mastered it. Oh, you're gonna dig his jerky. I don't. Do you make it too, Sheepdog? I haven't tried yours, so maybe yours is awesome too. I wouldn't ever put my jerky up against Bob's. It'd be ridiculous. Yeah, Bob's jerky's insane. My jerky will keep you alive, but that's about all I can say for it. Yeah, that might be part of the problem. I'm just like literally marinating it in like whatever's around. And I'm sure if you bought like stuff that was designed to marinate meat in, it would probably be a lot better. Yeah, alive is good. Like I said, the first batch I made, which I think, I don't even know where it's at. I don't know if we cached it or if it's somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I think we cached it. It's ridiculously salty. It's like a salt lick. The one I just made the other day, all I did was it's just barbecue. That's it, and it's okay. Yeah, Sheepdog. We should have like a beef jerky making party sometime. Do you use a dehydrator? You could just bring it over and we could just dehydrate and then talk about prepping stuff. Yeah, it was. It's like drinking ocean water, that jerky. But I just tell myself if I ever do have to break that jerky out, I'm not going to become, picky. It's going to be a jerky rub, something like that. I don't want to get like as good as like Bob or Sheepdog at making jerky, but I would like to make it at least, not embarrassing. I don't think I would feed that first batch to anyone else. It's the saltiest thing I've ever had in my life. Facts, not feelings. They think you're paranoid, you don't care. Good, you shouldn't. Because if things go high and to the right, those people are going to be coming to you. Yeah, I don't know if I buy into the whole Yellowstone thing. I think it could be just more fear porn. Oh yeah, black hat. I would recommend that if you're ever out in public and you see something going down, do not get involved. Just remove yourself from the situation. Like just go. I wouldn't even get my phone out and start filming it. Just go. Nothing good happens if you get involved with like strangers and stuff going down. Just go. Well, I can't teach you how to make jerky. My jerky is atrocious. Yeah, I look at situational awareness as the second I see something's going down, I'm gone. I am just there's no benefits to getting involved with some weird shit going down in public. Thanks, Mike. I did see your hair video, Nick. Yeah, there's a lot of NPCs. That's by design. Yeah, as far as I'm going to try and do the viewer comment video. I just want it done. I don't ever want to I don't want it like on my to-do list. I just want to get rid of it. Yes, it is lonely being aware, but I wouldn't, like I said, we talked early in this chat, like I would not go back to pre-awakeness. It was easier, but going through life as an NPC, I don't see any benefits to that. I don't have one because we don't need them here, and I've had them before in other states, but I don't have one here. No, Nick, you were not referenced in viewer comment video. Yeah, that was a lot of salt. I have like 65 tattoos. It's like, I can't tell you like what they mean. There's too many to. That says Yahweh. So Nick, what are you looking forward to the most on your visit next weekend? This weekend. It's like this weekend. You're looking forward to the smell of freedom, aren't you? We're going to send you home smelling like gunpowder and freedom. All right. Knee Knocker's going, but JCB is not because he got Saturday off and Nick changed it to Sunday. So he's not going to be there. The minimum amount of ammo is enough to get more ammo. Yahweh, God. So I'm working on starting to like interview people that have other channels, and I think I'm supposed to get an email tonight from someone who has a channel that I subscribe to that I really like. It's a good channel, and hopefully we can set it up so that I don't know. It'd be kind of like an interview, but also sort of a way to make people aware that the channel exists. So I want to start doing more of that. Bob Barker's helping me out finding channels that will come on this channel and basically just get the word out that their channel exists. What caliber weapon is that? It's an AR-15. It's 5.56. "30 rounds of freedom." I don't know if the government monitors how much ammo you purchase. I honestly purchased the majority of my ammo at Walmart. I don't know. I don't really care if they monitor it if they want. Any restrictions to carrying firearms in the United States is unconstitutional. It should be constitutional carry everywhere because that's what the Constitution guarantees us. So these states that have like made you have to jump through hoops or they regulate the shit out of it, they're in direct violation of our God-given rights. So I've had CCWs in the past. I'll never get another one because I'm not playing their game. When I lived in Oregon, I carried concealed without a permit. I didn't give a shit. If you hear any sort of tapping noise, it's probably the ceiling fan. I don't hear it. It's still a 5.56. Yeah, I don't think your ammo purchases are monitored in Arizona. I think they are for a fact in Illinois because you need a card. You need an actual physical card to buy ammo in the state of Illinois. So I guarantee you that they monitor your ammo purchases in Illinois because you have to present a card. Yeah, Arizona, I mean, this is a gun state. Yeah, Oregon, the whole Pacific Northwest is, like I said, they've been compromised. I would write them off. Does Indiana require a permit for ammo? I know Illinois does. That would be, I don't know. I couldn't live in a state that did shit like that. That's ridiculous. You have to understand a lot of what Donald Trump says is there's a lot of, don't take it as just like, I don't know. He's like many steps ahead in the thought process. He has many reasons for the things he says and does. And most people are never going to figure that out. So Indiana has a lifetime concealed carry permit. Yeah, I know Montana's a good gun state. I've been there a couple times. I like Montana. It's a nice state too. Yeah, having to show some sort of ID card to get ammo is, I mean, that's just one step away from full-on fascism. That's tyranny. I know I bought an AR in New Mexico, and I bought it in a gun shop that was inside a mall. And they didn't give me a box or a bag or anything. I literally walked through the mall. It took me about probably 2 or 3 minutes to get from the store in the mall out to the parking lot to my car, just carrying an AR-15. I could just imagine in some states they would have had SWAT and everybody would have been on top of me. In New Mexico, I literally said, like, do I need to put this in something? And they're like, no. I was like, okay. And I walked through the mall with an AR-15 out through the parking lot, got in the car and drove home. There's still some states where you don't have to jump through hoops. I don't know anything about House Senate bills. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I go by what the Constitution says because in my mind it supersedes any other nonsense or shit that they come out with. Holy shit, Sapper. Yeah, Illinois is a nightmare. Well, thank you for participating, Paranormal Poison. I wouldn't go back to Oregon for anything. Not to visit, nothing. I've written that place off. It's been infested with demons. And, you know, if the people there allow their representatives to do the things they're doing, then they're just as guilty. The whole place is just demonic. This went from prepping paranoia to gun rights. All right. Now, the NRA has been on me for so many years. They send me shit nonstop, and I don't even open that shit. I just rip the letter in half and throw it in the trash. I don't know anything about those operations. There's too many rabbit holes to go down. There's too much stuff to research. I know that we live in a scripted matrix reality, and so I just try and focus. And I know that the restrainer will be removed, and shit's going to go high into the right. So Mike and I are just trying to make things as pleasant as possible when that happens. I already know everything's screwed up. I already know everything's a lie. I don't need to look into it any deeper. I think Mike and I are both just focused on food, water, ammo, comms, medicine, learning some skills. There's still things that we definitely have on our list as far as learning about, but I'm more focused on that than, seeking truth, because I've been there. And once you realize that this is all a scripted matrix reality, that's really all you need to know. Then you need to focus on how to best survive what's coming. It's like you can't know everything. So like Mike and I are trying to like feed off one another. Like he's better at some things than I am, and I have things what I can bring to the table. And we would be more than happy having another, couple of people that we trust that have skill sets that we don't have. But for now, it's just we're sort of in the jack of all trades sort of mindset. Yeah, the NRA has been compromised as well. But, yeah, someone that knows more about medical than we do would be awesome. Who controls the matrix? Satan controls the matrix. This is Satan's world that we live in, this earthly plane. Satan runs it. Until the Messiah returns to Satan's world. Thank you, Paranormal Poison. Something's off as far as the representatives. I'm missing one somewhere. I need to compare. I have 14 points of contact and 14 circles on my map, and the last video I made has 13 contacts. So I'm missing one. there's a place that's represented that I need to figure out which one it is. Is this live stream like buffering or something, or is anybody having trouble with it? I'm about to call it. I mean, I think we've covered all the bases today. Maybe it's buffering for you. Is it buffering for anyone else? I don't know. It says here that everything's fine, but yeah. It says I've got a strong connection and everything's going well, but you're in Indiana, so. Yeah, I've been certified in CPR, first aid, and defibrillator, and I've also I'm a graduate of firefighting school. I was a firefighter in the military, but I still would feel a lot better that having someone who's knows more about that than us. All right, everyone. I don't want this to get too long because then nobody watches videos that are too long. I have enough trouble. My account's being ghosted. Nobody's getting notifications or anything. So, all right. All right. All right. I'm gonna go. I don't know if we come up with a reason to pop on again, we will. Like I said, it was very short notice today. I just got home from work and I was like, I wanted to, because I tried twice to do a live stream where we talked about prepping and what your family thinks of you, and for some reason, both times they went somewhere else entirely. So, thank you, Sheepdog. Thanks everyone for being on here. I appreciate it. At one point, we had quite a few people on here, so I appreciate those of you who stayed through to the end. Bye, Sappers, Paranormal Poisons. Nice meeting you, Sheepdog. Take care, Peter. Thank you for all your input, and Nick. I'll see you in a few days. Jerry, Exegesis, everyone, thank you very much, and peace. Be good. Have a good rest of your week. If I don't make any videos or get back on between now and the weekend, after Nick's here, you're probably going to see a lot of video footage from this weekend being posted next week. So everyone, take care. And Black Hat, bye-bye. God bless. Peace.